What's up, guys? It's me, JellyKnees. Finally, I'm saying it like it's one word again because I've figured out what my problem was, and it was my New Year's resolution to fix it. But here we are, and I think I've done enough hyping about the gems and what they mean that we're gonna get into it. So, oh wait, real quick, one more thing. So I really want to thank you guys for being subscribed if you're seeing this video early on, and if you want to see it faster and you aren't subscribed, hit subscribe, turn on the bell, then you'll be able to get these videos as soon as they come out, which we'll be posting daily videos during the week for the next 2-3 weeks or so. I've got enough content backed up, so we're going to be doing that. But now let's actually get into the gems and what we think they're going to be. So just as a recap, we're going to look at these gems here, and this is from the progression blog post. On the bottom, they had these gems and the silhouetted images, and I've been teasing these gems, and they're flashing back and forth like they're mocking me almost. And so I asked you guys what you thought, and I kind of want to go through some ideas that you guys came up with that I didn't think about, but I think are valid options for what these gems could be. First up, we want to talk about something that two people left a comment on my video asking about the gems. And the comment was that you use them for items, which is a very interesting thought. And this is from Hate Love Nothing and Sarity99. So thank you guys for leaving that comment. But it really got me thinking about that the tier 3 items could have different effects attached to them, and maybe that's where the gems come in. For instance, if you look at these swords that we know about, each of them have a different, distinct kind of coloring to them, which almost goes with the coloring of some of our gems here. We've got the fire, the ice, the green, right? The very similar aesthetic and color to these. And I think that this is a very, very good idea that I definitely wouldn't have thought of and could be very interesting. But at the same time, even if it's not involved with the tier 3s just in the ranking up from tier 2 to tier 3, they could easily be involved in the tier 3s as extra add-ons to the item themselves. So let's say that we pick up the dragon sword here and it's fully kitted out, but now we have, for 500 extra gold, we can attach one of these gems to it that give it just a little bit of extra flavoring, for lack of a better way to put it. That we attach the void gem and it does extra magic damage, or we attach the frost gem and it slows enemies on hit by 1% decaying over time, or something like that. It'd be something cool to add to these items just as a little bit of bonus on top of the regular effects of each item. The next one I want to talk about was something that definitely didn't occur to me, and that's that the gems could represent each of the regions we know about in Ethereal. And unfortunately, I don't have an image for the Beyond, which would be the 8th region on here, which would be represented by this like void looking gem, purple-esque gem. But if we look here, I mean, we can really kind of just test it out right here. We've got this blue gem that can go to Al Gore very easily. We've got the green that can go to Grin. This kind of beige white could go to Zuria pretty easily. The yellow here could be Citadel. The kind of gray ash kind of looking one could easily go to Craxus, which seems like the fiery volcanic type area. This ember looking could go to Edelos, which is kind of your earthy realm in my mind. The only one that doesn't really fit in this is we've got two of these white-ish gems, one of which could go to Zuria, but the other one doesn't really go to Ovagon. And I've tried looking at this every way I can and changing the matches to see where it goes, but I think that that's probably not likely, only because one of the gems doesn't match. And maybe it's that Ovagon is a different color now, so that and because of that color change, the gems really are the regions and we just don't know it yet. But definitely a great thought, and I'm glad that I got to delve into this and see that a little bit, because I definitely didn't think about it. And so thanks to Patrick TKD for that one, because that was totally caught me off guard, something I didn't even think about. Something I believe Sarity mentioned this as well, but I apologize if that's wrong, is the one of the other options was that the gems themselves could be checkpoints on the leveling system, in that you hit the checkpoints as you're leveling up and get like micro rewards in thereof as you're doing so. Or for the prestige system, these are the checkpoints, which I think is a very good idea as well. And there's no way for me to be able to look into that and confirm or deny that that's possible. Um, my only thought process on that potentially not being the thing is that 8 checkpoints seems like kind of a lot for one level, but maybe it's that the first prestige tier, you only have one of these gems, and then each prestige tier up, you add an extra gem onto it as another stopping point or another place to hold your progress. Could be very interesting to see as well. So one of the things that I thought of when I saw last week's blog post about the loadout system is that our gems kind of are very similar shaped to these little socketed pieces on the loadout system, and that they fit very similarly. They've got the almost identical border to them. The colors are different, to be sure, but the only reason I don't think that this actually pertains to the loadout system is because the loadout system only has 4 colors and we have 8 colors here. So I really can't find a way to coordinate these gems to the loadout system in any way, shape, or form. The other thing is that typically in our blog posts, we've seen that even the little teasers, all the Ethereal letters that we found, always relate to the blog post in some way. And for the gems to be teased on the progression blog post, but be tied to the loadout blog post, seems like a weird thing, unless they're trying to give us teasers for the next blog post every week now instead of the Ethereal writing. But it'll be interesting to see when the game comes out if maybe these gems and the loadout system are just coincidentally very similar in their design and look, and that the points are not actually involved with the gems at all, even though it's very, very close in overall look and design. So the one thing that I've been thinking about, and it relates to the blog post that we got with the gems being the account progression system, and there's one piece of information in that blog post that we weren't given a ton of information on. We have the account levels, we have the honor system or the player levels, and we have the myth prestige levels. And they very briefly talked about ranked, but didn't really go into any kind of detail about it. So I'm really curious if the gems themselves don't tie into the ranking system for Ethereal. And here we'll have the thumbnail up for this video just because that's the larger images of these gems that we have. But very easily I could see that these 2 whites or the gray be your lower tier, your lower ranked tiers. And as you increase, you've got these like color increases slowly in going into brighter, more defined gemstone colors and crystals. And I think that this is likely the most likely option for these gemstones, being tied to the progression blog post, but also being the one system that we don't know about very much, other than it's coming later down the line after pre-alpha. So I would really love to see these gemstones be the ranked system, and that part of them is how you can tell what rank a player is when you're loading into a match with them. You just see the gemstone as their insignia of pride, basically. Think like the game-winning ring, right? When you win the Super Bowl, you get the ring. The gemstone is your ring for being in that rank. I don't have even any idea what the naming system could be for these gems if they do turn out to be the ranked system, but I do believe that that's the most likely place that we see these gemstones coming into Ethereal for the considerable future, I guess. But we'll have to wait and see what happens with these when the game officially releases, and see if I'm right or if any of you guys are right that left comments in my last video, because I definitely appreciate it and I loved going through them to see like, oh, the things that I didn't think about or the things that I could delve deeper into that might have some more ground and basis than I even considered. But guys, I do want to ask you what you think after hearing all of these theories. Did it trigger new theories about the gemstones? Do you agree with the ranked system that I put forward, or do you agree with some of the other ones that we put forward? I'd love to hear all about it in the comments below. I try to respond to every single comment that you guys leave. So please, we'll have a conversation. We'll debate it out. I'm happy to go into more of my thought process behind what the information I found for these ranked gemstones. But that's going to do it for this video, guys. Please hit subscribe, hit the like button, leave a comment down below. Like I said, if you guys want to see more Ethereal content, we'll click right over there. And if you want to see a video tailored specifically for you by YouTube, click the video that's right over there. And I'll see you guys right in the next one.